Metonka. Will no type of will no will no gugum ye statutory will. Metonka, yes, metonka. And ye oral will. Now, beso kind oral will.
Should I read it for you?
Yes, oral will no. Oral will no ye do bi na no ye by video and also free dance for and omotena ne nchen ye abra na lawyer for wo ho. Ene saa nyoma no na tie oral will no pacho.
Should I read only the oral will and as I started the whole thing na enkofo entiase?
Pacho kind oral will na answer na me fan so we so ne free ho no. Will no ba ko a ewo ho no ebi nie pacho tie kind.
Me pacho hold on for me. I want to get the whole thing.
Pacho na get the whole thing why? What was it? Enkofo entiase education. Kwasi Bronii odan yare mpaso ntime mesen court. Nya afi ne ekofa typewriter be type nyoma. Nti ye ntiase no ana ya say.
So like, is it the one that says when should a will be submitted to the court in Ghana, right?
Ubehu oral, yes.
Okay, hold on. Nah, hold on. Guys, I have
first one, not try first one. I'll call customary will, no? After customary, and then number 3. Number 3. Until they start free, statutory, no? Now we'll call customary and sana the oral will. Your friend, no Ghpagetv will. Ghpagetv will. Ghpagetv will. Ghpagetv will. That is it. Your friend oral will. What's that? Yeah, you used to say be ebe sorry na court. No, the nadia court na now and crofadwin almost said there be. Nipa ne lawyer be release a first one at the internet basa. And no na say ye man crofo who that education no matter here. One. Oral will no a very, very, very important at the intia. And no na benya declaration.
No, I didn't get the full Hold on. Pastor, can you re-forward it to me, please?
Okay. Me send them. But which must start from the top, no? The one that you have. Or the statutory now, and I said the written and the statute, no? But when all.
Never.
Eti mama nchire mu na whilst you look for it because one the wo a year na me person me kan ma sister Rahel kan from on the side no will different types of will are wo first one answer na kwasi Bronii beba no na ya nkasa no ye wo kwan wo hono ma enkrofo fa so ehunu se omonti bibia ase a enti se unana ema wa gudie wode asase bi chewa eno ye oral eno ye padansefo ebegina ho se maame ti ase no wode dan we ede maame maame yi ho ase dade ede ma no ana se minya dansefo mu gina mu ka se ne ho dodo no sa abere no mu na wode na Ghpagetv we maame no adentia those ones are spoken words and now be the declaration of distribution of properties. 1, 2. And no or witnesses are catch them until Lumba to me friend and ma. I catch almost say yes. I deal with me the mama.
Miss Alex, let me read what I have, okay? Let me read this one. Yes. Okay, so when should a will be submitted to court? Okay. The first one says that after the death of the testator, okay, nipa krona or your will no so ofrima pair, you can go and put it at the court, okay? A will has no legal effect whilst the person is alive. So nipa ne tiasia, it says that will no any legal effect be a just nipa no ewansa, okay? And it says that it becomes relevant only after death. It is obedience and that's why well no as soon as the only time a will no becomes very important is when the person is dead and as a nipa no, that is when the will no important. Timeline, okay, timeline of the will, best practice. Once death occurs, se onipa wa, the executor named in the will or any interested person should present the will to the High Court probate division. Also that the other time you can an executor who can be an executor in a will, and it says that so nipa ni frima was say who nipa or the executor of the will no, and I say obi so interested be can go and put the will at the High Court. Ideally, as soon as practicable, usually within a few weeks of month. It means that nipa in few weeks now was say will nitimi court. There is no strict statutory deadline, but unreasonable delay raises suspicion. Or person chances so be one the will no echo to honoma. Okay, you need deadline be a name momono se a cha nafe as a ni yaba who say adeno as a nye papa. Okay, delays are often triggers caveat family fights and court scrutiny. Okay, and then can a lawyer keep a will even after a husband's death? And then it says that yes, but with conditions. A lawyer may safely keep a will in custody during the testator's lifetime and even after his death. But once the lawyer is aware of the death, the lawyer has a legal and ethical duty to produce the will, release or lodge it in court, or hand it to the named executor or an entitled person. A lawyer cannot hide, suppress, or delay the will intentionally. Mr. Lex, is this the part that you wanted? And answer me to us.
Me pesenka o kind the new one no. And the better more the types of will, because will no egugum. So one yes yeah okay,
let me read it. Types of wills in Ghana. Okay, types of wills in Ghana. Under the Wills Act 1971, Act 360, and customary law practice, the following are recognized. Okay, 1. Written will. Written will, no, a statutory will. This is the most common and strongest type. Features in writing. Nature say will a demo pano, the written will, and that one is in writing, signed or templated by the testator. It means that sa will no nipa kona wa no it is that was signed and now say what thumbprint or the fingerprint etim so attest by at least 2 witnesses. Okay, was say nipa mienu edi adanse say nipa na wa film no ono an sign ye ono an or the thumbprint so AC so, and then at least attested by 2 witnesses. Testator must be 18 years and of sound mind. I think it's a nyama way na ya kan wa platform we so that fully enforced in court, can be kept secret. Executors apply for probate. Okay, and the second one a privileged will. Privileged will allowed for every limit category of people, such as members of the armed force, seamen at sea. Features can be informal, may not meet all strict formalities, recognize due emergency circumstances, rare in practice and narrowly interpreted by courts. Customary will. This is a will made under customary law, not necessarily under Act 360. Okay, it says that what is a customary law? A customary will, what's a customary will? A customary will is an oral declaration of how properties should be distributed, made before family members, elders, or witnesses, based on customary rules, not statutory families. Okay, In a customary valid will, yes, if properly proven, court will accept it. If it was made voluntarily, testator was of sound mind, witnesses testify consistently, if it does not violate statutory law. Okay, limitations cannot override statutory rights of spouse and children, customary family properties rules, and then public policy. Customary wills are harder to prove and often challenged. Now we are coming to the oral will. Oral will, Mr. Alex.
Ehona me pese yenti asie se obi betimi afa krata we aka se Lumba wanya will o court enokre Lumba will no nya de da court no bi monti asie sa ne will no nya de da court no se omde akoto court dwan ankrofo di achi dabi but Lumba ja guidelines for the distribution of the estate, and no na the last lawyers of that Lumba Abeka they are troublesome. Now let's assume say the next phase in also.
Okay, so let's read the oral will. That is the non-occupative will. What is an oral will? An oral will is spoken instructions made shortly before death, usually in emergency situations.
But not in emergency situations. Kai say that Lumba wuye no ombe interview a lawyer fati. And on say on kwano wa two kwan nana that Lumba ese omfre no mre no emergency so be kaya. Nti one ne hia ye kasa ye kura nche ye. That means this was made under emergency. 1. 2. Obi say, I think oral will needs to be voice recorded. And I was say, Lumba, why videos be bree? And then microphone tiasi na the Ebema Ghana. I don't say this week, but when I make a was a Ghana bed. We know a lot of things that are coming, and the point that people will not get that understanding. And then they say. So we bet me a challenge. Every will can be challenged. That one nobody is disputing that fact. But engine tum as of today, Lumba will yet the dark court no be. Na Tuadiana can also.
It could be that enye no be. It could also be to say Edaho. We don't know how authentic this document is.
The entire Kasane say. So Sikia deal high court. People might be thinking, say, oh, Adiwe Neda. The only person that knew the Akosua, the lawyers, because they have come up to explain to us, there is something, the man left guidelines to the distribution of the Ghpagetv. And that is the most important part. We want everybody to catch that one. On that point.
Let me finish reading it, okay? It says the oral will hold on. This is a will, spoken instructions made shortly before death, usually in emergency situations, not written down. In an oral will valid, it's an oral will valid in Ghana, generally not valid under the Wills Act. However, Ghanaian courts may recognize an oral will only if it qualifies as a customary will and it is supported by clear, independent witnesses. The deceased belong to a community where such practice is accepted. The declaration was equivocal and final. If it does not meet customary law standards, it will be rejected.
Very good. And see, Mr. Rahel, and on a year can man so say the one year can see suama people will understand. They say with reference to this, there is a distribution of estate, there is guidelines, and how those distribution has to be settled between the family and the wives. And that is what we can categorically say as at now. But also,
I'm done reading what I was reading.
It's but just right, but hold on, Kaka. Me for.
There be able to afford the person you're training and say hold on. Mpache be frank of about hold on for me, please.
Because we have a lot of requests to be nominated. Say a lot of requests have come in. And I'm picking Krofokakra just to check the temperature to see. Say, dear, some with the knowledge and stuff that we are putting across, you know.
Okay. Hold on. Okay, Abusafo, the person you're training and say. The person you're training and say, the letter is out there, okay, and the letter said there is no.
Yes, okay.
Okay, the letter said there's no will. As whether the letter is valid or not, no. As we rightfully said, no, there are a lot of things that we are not seeing on the kind of saying that letter. We can say it's a court document, but we don't know why na echo siki for sa and as a why na koye sa saveno. But what we are trying to say is that there are so many ways of doing a will, and to say in case said that Lumba will cry any high court, there are other ways of doing a will, and I say there are other options. Will be better me choose to do a will and on kind different types of them, and then we said one is also an oral one. We are basing everything based on the letter. I think say a kind term. One say a lot of people like to do hearsay. A lot of people like to say things they want. But this is a document that was presented to Mami Akosua. The letter lawyer Fati yes, lawyer Fati Mocho Baba Jama Chambers actually come Mami Akosua. It was stated categorically clear in it say that Lumba has given away or pese ye sieno and then wa ma kwan or pese ye cheneja padie in order say beya manso bia esuni mfaso ebeba na ebeba begu that Lumba ni ma sintino se Mami Akosua ente no ho ase wo bibi ho a the lawyers and then the ebusiano are there. They are open for discussion. It means that se na ka Mami Akosua ente no ho ase wo bibi ho a she could have gone to the lawyers, she could have gone to Busia Penny no omo nyina atnase na nka ebia bibi wo ho no ma that Lumba ka se nka omo nya it could have been na nka omo catch no. But in this case Mami Akosua got the letter, but she decided rather to go to court, and which has brought about all these issues. And she said if a letter comes out to say right now say that Lumba it will end that quarter, it doesn't necessarily mean say that Lumba anya will, because there are other forms of wills. There could be a will that could be with the lawyers and not necessarily be at the court, as we have read based on Ghana and Brano. I don't know how I want to wondering you, okay, but I know say as time goes on there are lots of things that are going to be so clear for everybody in the public domain to know from Baba Jama in the chambers whether really there was a will. And I say that Lumba ye oral you can say will say the year can by doing even a video cry na bibia. I'm sure say it's all gonna come out. And see, at this point we are going to open the lines for you, and then if you have anything to say about it, Mepacho, you come on. Mepacho, don't beat about the bush. Mepacho, oh bahano mana ye de yaka wasem